What's up, everybody, and welcome to BioS 3 Raw TV. Today, we're gonna finish up with this whole Layton Norton thing, because we've pushed him, Ice Cream Fitness and myself, we've pushed him to the brink of where he's cracking, and now other people like Lyle McDonald, who wrote the Ultimate Diet version 2.0, has gotten in on this, and Lyle's very respected in the community, the fitness community. He's not a YouTube guy. He wrote the diet and stuff, and now other people are starting to see. They're starting to open their eyes, and that's good. I'm starting to get people, as you can see in my last video about my apology to Lane, critiquing me, criticizing me, and that's Lane's people finally getting wind of the fact that we are making people think, and now they're coming to my page and starting to spam, and that's pretty much a sign that we're getting to Lane. And some of these people, I don't even know if they're actually, because these people, I've never seen these people. Everybody I talk to, they hate Lane. I haven't met one person that's like, oh, Lane is awesome. Only Lane, there's like maybe a dozen people that think he's badass. I'm not even sure these people are real, because all they do is posting online. So I got the feeling they could actually be Lane with fake accounts, talking himself up to try to gain more clients. So without further ado, I actually went to Lane's new video, which my girlfriend actually had watched. And she told me about it and said, why don't you check it out and see what you think about it? So I did, and here are some excerpts from that, and my critique, my rebuttal, my tearing down of what you may, of what Lane has to say, Mr. PhD boy. Here we go.
Screw up their metabolisms, and you see them go out, they do well, and they fall off the face of the earth because their metabolisms are screwed. They can't get back on track.
They can't get back on track. Here's the whole key to his whole metabolic damage bullshit. People eat, and they can't stop eating, and that's why they're fat. Not because their metabolisms are damaged. And sometimes Lane, when he starts rambling, he doesn't realize what he said. And he did at this point. He realized they can't get back on track. He let out the whole secret on how his program works to get them back in shape. And you'll see him put his head down like, oh, shit, I let the cat out of the bag. Shit, they're going to find out that it's that easy to fix metabolic damage.
If we have two people who are like twins, okay, they're genetically identical. Let's just say for theory's sake, they're genetically identical.
Genetically identical, Lane? Really? You're a science guy, and you should know two identical twins cannot be genetically identical. One can have allergies and one cannot have allergies. Therefore, their biochemistry is different. And this is not me saying this. This is science saying this. Okay? One twin, did you know, Lane, is usually bigger and more muscular, and that's the one that's born first. So how could they possibly be genetically identical when neither one of them are identical? Even their facial structures and stuff, which are identical twins, are not identical. You just made up a totally non-existent being for your theory to prove your point. It doesn't even exist. So theoretically, if we had this hypothetical situation where two people are identical, okay, theoretically, but that's not science. That's friggin' making shit up. That's a fairy tale. It doesn't make any sense. Again, you make shit up. That doesn't make any sense. You get people looking over here. You're like a magician. Oh, look over here. Look at this. Look at this. Don't really look what I'm doing over here. Look over here. If we have these identical people that were identical, this actually can't really happen in real life, then this would actually happen. But this can't because I'm making it up. It is a fairy tale. You're like a magician or used car salesman, Lane. You lead people in one direction, and when they look over there, you're doing something else.
People would associate metabolic damage with adrenal fatigue. Now, adrenal fatigue is still a relatively new term, and to be honest, there is basically no scientific evidence it exists. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't exist, okay? Certainly, I've seen some people with hormonal perturbations that are associated with metabolic issues, all right? But I've seen plenty of people who have totally normal thyroid, totally normal hormonal profile, who are having this issue, who are having metabolic
issues.
Here's
the biggest contradiction I've ever heard come out of your mouth, ever. Adrenal fatigue technically doesn't exist because science says it doesn't exist, but you're not saying it doesn't exist because you're seeing something happening. So technically, in the history of the world, it's never found scientifically that adrenal fatigue is a real thing. So by your train of thought, because you don't believe in the bro science, adrenal fatigue doesn't exist. But you're saying that it could possibly exist. So you're technically doing your own bro science, although you bitch and complain that science holds all the keys and the science never lies, but you don't have any proof from science that adrenal fatigue exists. So what is it? Does it exist? Does it not exist? Are you full of shit? Are you trying to just bait people and say, well, it does exist, but science doesn't say it? But I'm totally big on the science and say that science never lies. But in this instance, science is lying because it could possibly exist, and I don't really know what's going on. So I'm going to say this stuff, and hopefully you're not figuring out that I don't really understand this, and hopefully you'll still hire me because I need to make more money.
And I actually had almost an anxiety attack over whether I should make this second video because I had so many emails from the first video that it was hard for me just to keep up with my work.
Really, Lane? A little dramatic, aren't you? You almost have an anxiety attack about making a video. I make videos, August makes videos, Ice Cream Fitness makes videos, Big J Extreme makes videos. We all make videos. Are we having fucking anxiety attacks over it? Lane, you have a friggin' PhD you throw in everybody's faces. You compete at the highest level of natural powerlifting and natural bodybuilding. You have an anxiety over making a fucking video that may get you some emails? You're starting to crack, Lane. You're losing your cool. Either that, you're just a fucking pussy to begin with that can't handle answering all the questions you're going to get that you don't have answers for and that you can't bullshit your way through. That's where the anxiety comes from. It's not answering the emails. It's trying to figure out what to say and be consistent because you don't frickin' really know.
I would really appreciate it, unless you're very, very serious about an inquiry, don't email me about it.
Here's the big final sales pitch that any good salesman would sell you. If you were buying a used car, you'd be like, well, maybe you're not interested in this car because you know what? This is a Ferrari. And Ferraris are the best on the market. So maybe you're just not looking for the best. Maybe you want something that's a little less than the best, something that's not as good. Maybe you want the Ford Pinto. So Lane puts it out there. Please don't contact me unless you're really serious. Look, I've worked at gyms a long time, and everybody who walks through that door is, man, I'm going to do anything to get in shape. Yeah, I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm going to get fit. So by doing that, you're actually working with their psyche to be like, oh, if you're not serious, oh my God, no, I'm serious, Lane. No, seriously, I'm ready to rock. I'll do anything you tell me to. And at that point, you got them hooked. You've done all your sales pitch. You've done all your manipulation. You've done that final dig in the gut, which is an emotional reaction from them based on what you want from them. And what you want from them is their undivided attention and their loyalty to you, the trainer that's going to help them make all their dreams come true. Because why? They're serious. Everybody nowadays is extreme. It's badass. It's hardcore. Everybody is like that. And you're considered a pussy if you're not. So all these people that you're talking to right now who may not really need your training want it because you've created a demand with the shit you've said and promised them about being super into it, super important, very serious athletes. Give me a friggin' break. So in conclusion, you guys can see during his videos, he contradicts himself and says shit that doesn't make any sense for having a PhD. He doesn't even know that two twins cannot be identical genetically in any way, shape, or form. And that it comes from me. I'm Mr. Google. It took me 2 minutes on Google to find that information out. But he would rather make up a hypothetical person or being that doesn't exist to prove his point rather than saying, well, shit, there is no way to really prove this. So if that isn't bro science, I don't know what is, motherfucker. You're just going out there making shit up. Well, this is going to end my bullshit with Lane, because this video was the final one that just said, you know what, I'm done fucking with this guy. And enough people are going to question him where his shit's going to crack. And now Lyle McDonald's involved, Ice Cream Fitness is involved, and a host of other people. And Lane's got about 12 followers that like to come and spam shit. For those people, fuck it, spam away. I could care less, because you know what? The more Lane mentions my name and Ice Cream Fitness's name, the more that people are going to come, look at these videos, watch them, and start to question what's going on. Then they might think for themselves and not hire Lane and think Lane's a jack-off. And not to worry, sooner or later I'm going to run into this Lane because I go to the Olympia and I go to the Arnold. So when I see him, I'll approach him, guys, and don't worry, I'll have Carrie holding the camera. We'll see if we can get some answers face-to-face with him, because he seems to like to talk a big talk online, but maybe not so much in person. BioStraining@gmail.com. Leave comments down below in that section down there. The blog is www.biostraining.com. Thank you for watching this. Truth be told, and the truth shall set you free, Lane. We're out.